I'm Sergeant Bradshaw. I'm over our criminal investigations.
My name's ChilleDeCastro. I have a channel on YouTube called Lawz, and what I do, I help people sue bad police departments.
Okay.
Unless, of course, you want to suspend Amy Moon and take away her badge. I'm watching a video right now, and if I get a hold of this guy, I'm going to help him file a federal civil rights lawsuit against you guys. You cannot walk up to people and just put them in torture cuffs. You're way outside the boundaries. Have you seen this video?
No, sir, I have not. I apologize. I haven't seen it.
Well, let me send it over to you. Do you have an email address I can send it to?
I do.
What makes a cop think that they get to detain somebody because somebody called about them? You don't.
I have no idea.
You don't get to go to a lake and tell people to get off the roof of their van, stop tanning, get down here. I want to talk to you. And he says, "No, what's your probable cause? Do you have something that you?"
Legit question. Legit.
I committed a crime, and then she says, "Turn around, put your hands behind your back." Okay. That is not freedom. That is a police state.
I got you. By what you're describing, it makes sense.
I mean, I could send this to you guys, but you know what'll happen? Nothing. And
well,
so
and again,
look me up. I'm really not joking.
But Mr. Castro, I have no reason in the world to doubt the information you're telling me. So, you may have dealt with other officers in the past. Hold on. Wait, listen for 1 second. You may have dealt with other officers in the past that treated you however way or demeaned or did whatever they did. But that's not me, okay? I believe everything you have to say. I believe who you are. I believe everything you do.
I don't understand. What in the hell makes this person think they just get to detain people and put them in torture cuffs when someone called and said they're suspicious that maybe this guy has an underage girl with him? And even if he does, why can't he go to the lake with an underage girl? I know all kinds of underage girls who are under 18 years old that are my nieces and nephews' friends, and if I was with them at the lake, there would be nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
Just because you're with someone who's underage doesn't mean you're a pedophile.
Exactly.
This idea that it's just so stupid. And then she goes to the lake. They're up on top of the van sunning, and they say, "Come down here." She says, "Come down here. I want to talk to you." And he's like, "Do you suspect me of committing a crime?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, well, tell me what the crime is, and I'll come down there." And she's like, "No, come down here first." Then he gets down off the van, and she puts him in handcuffs.
Can I ask one? Let me ask one question. When did this happen? Roughly what year or day or whatever?
2016. Amy Moon, is she still there?
Yeah, she's still here.
Watching this video is disgusting.
Okay.
It's nothing short of tyrannical police state garbage. Here, listen to what happens. Just listen.
I'm listening.
And no contraband was found in her.
She walks up here. Listen. Okay, she's walking up to the van. Just listen.
What you doing, guys?
What you doing, guys? There's two people up on top of the van.
Come down off the top of the van.
She orders them off the top of the van as if she has the authority to tell them where to put their bodies.
Okay. Come down so I can talk to you. I can't hear you. Come down so I can hear you, ma'am.
She demands that they come down for the van because she can't hear them. Come down here so I can talk to you. There was no crime. She simply had a phone call. Some Karen called in and said, "I'm afraid they're down there using drugs. They've got underage girls." And so now my freedom is gone. And so she says, "Come down here. I can't hear you."
I can hear you.
Are you suspecting a crime is being committed?
Yes. Come down.
Yes, come down here.
Come here so I can talk to you.
So he complies, which I never would do. I would tell her to go pound sand.
Right.
Come down here.
So she's coaxing him down off the van. He jumps down off the van.
You too, ma'am.
She orders the woman off the van. Who the hell does this chick think she is? She has no right to be ordering people around. There's no crime there. She was called to investigate a scene. You can do a Terry stop and take a look around, but there's no need to Terry stop anybody if there's no reasonable articulable suspicion.
Do you have your ID on you, sir?
Well, do you have your ID on you? And then he says the appropriate question.
Crime you suspect you committed.
Do you have your ID? I will gladly talk to you. Do you have your ID on you?
If you don't want to let me know what crime is being committed,
okay, that's not how this works.
No, that's exactly how this works, Miss Moon. I want her suspended. I want her fired. And if you guys don't do it, this is garbage. You don't get to demand.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Castro? I'm sitting here listening to you, and you're yelling at me for some reason. I'm trying to help you facilitate what you want and need done.
I want her suspended without pay.
All right.
Listen more.
Again.
Listen more. I'll stop yelling at you. I'm sorry.
Castro, listen to me. You're going to have to go through this whole
DeCastro.
thing again, but listen to me. Listen, please. I'm really trying to help you.
You cannot treat people like this. You cannot demand ID of people. That's exactly how this works. You have to tell me the crime you're accusing me of and actually want to arrest me before I have to give my ID. That's the Fourth Amendment standard. There's no such thing as a stop on ID state. That's a myth. That's garbage.
I totally understand. I know that.
This is one of my subscribers. This is someone who's on my page that supports my channel. I want her suspended. I want her suspended for a week at least without pay.
How old are you?
You don't get to put another person in those. I mean, excuse me, sir. Those are torture cuffs. They were made for slaves. They're torture. You know they're torture. Between me and you know putting handcuffs on someone is very painful.
Oh, I've been in them. I understand. I do. I got you.
It's miserable. Well, if I put them on you, you'd really understand what it feels like. I wouldn't do that to you because I wouldn't put you in handcuffs. But you know as well as I do, it hurts. And she made this guy get off his van, and she's ordering around his girlfriend, and they haven't done anything wrong. They're just sitting at the lake enjoying the day. And the cop pulls up, and now he lives in a police state, and he has to submit his will, and he gets put in torture cuffs in 2 seconds flat.
All right.
Okay, tell you what, have a seat.
Now she tells him to sit on the ground, and he goes,
Have a seat. We're not going to do this. Have a seat.
You can arrest me if you like.
I don't want to arrest you,
Well,
okay?
it's been a crime.
We don't need to make it
Why are you
difficult.
harassing us?
Have a seat so I can watch you safely.
have a seat so I can watch you safely, Amy? Who do you think you are? You're a woman who, when I put you on a federal civil rights lawsuit, I put your name first on Google. That's what I do. With every cop I sue. That's what I do. I put her name first. So it shows up that no matter what she says to anybody, there'll always be a percentage of people who believe she's a bad person. And so the same thing they do to criminals, to people who are felons. They put a felony on them forever, and a certain percentage of people always believe that person's a bad person. Mm-hmm. So that's why I pay the money for Google to put the people who I sue at the top of Google. You can look it up: DeCastro versus Las Vegas Metro, DeCastro versus Unintentional Police Department. When I see stuff like this, and it makes me so incensed that I'm willing to call you at 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean,
yeah, because out in your town it's still dark.
Yeah,
it's still night out there.
Yeah, it's still pitch black here on the West Coast.
It is,
but I'm just so upset right now. You don't get to tell me to have a seat. Where's he supposed to sit? On the ground? She gets to tell him to get off the top of his van. Now he's got to sit on the ground? She gets to emasculate this man in front of his girlfriend? Why? How come? I mean, I'm willing to work with you guys behind the scenes, but if there's not a suspension here without pay, this is crap. You guys don't get to do this to people. And you got a black eye on this. And you and I have had a fair conversation. You've been fair to me on the phone. I'm trying to be fair to you. I'm just upset. But she gives you a black eye. She makes people say all cops are pigs.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I mean, there isn't. One of my jobs before they moved me up here, they moved me to criminal investigations. Like I said, I was the internal affairs supervisor. I've investigated a number of them.
How many cops did you find?
In your 30s, then?
2 in my time. But I wasn't there very long. It was either 2, and then we had some other ones leave. They resigned prior to us finishing up stuff.
For some reason,
writing on the wall.
For some reason, the profession brings in some of the worst people, and then once they get inside that union, it's just almost damn near impossible to get them out of there. Continually being assaulted with excessive force, continually being charged with being aggressive, continually being charged with overstepping their boundaries of the law. He said on this video, "Tell me what crime it is, and I'll give you my ID." She said, "That's not how this works. I'm a constitutional law scholar. That's exactly how this works." Exactly how this works is what he said.
Let me ask you this real quick, Mr. DeCastro. On that video that you have or anything that you have, does it have like a case number?
It says Sergeant Amy Moon of Cocoa, Florida Police. If you write this, I can text it to you if you want. SGT Amy Moon, spelled properly, of Cocoa, COCOA, FL, Police, make false arrest on law-abiding citizens in right retaliation.
So let me look at one thing while you're on the phone with me. When I was asking you for a case number, what I was doing is I was trying to find if maybe in what you had it would have like a year, like a year, like 2023, and then 8 digits behind it. But let me go in here real quick while I got you on the phone. Let me go pull her up.
Because if you don't give us your name, you're going to go to jail.
No one's
Moon. Personnel. Moon.
Okay. This is your last chance.
I'm looking for.
If you don't identify
Brevard
yourself,
County?
you're going to the county jail, sir.
Bavard. It's spelled weird and pronunciated even weirder. That makes any sense.
2016?
Yes.
This chick is still a cop in the same place, and she was not sued for this? This is 7 years old.
Oh, this is a 7-year-old case. Holy crap. All right, hold on then. Stand by, wait one. Let me go back. Because I didn't look at the right years. So this happened in 16, you said?
Yep.
2016. Was she? I didn't even think she was on the road then. I thought she was off the road.
She was road for a while?
Well, I think that's when they moved her into training. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Moved her into training?
Can you scoot over 2 minutes so I can see the license plate?
Meaning when officers put in requests to go to school, she's the one who processes all of them, stuff like that. She doesn't do any training.
Doesn't she believe that that's not how this works? That is exactly how it works. The way this works is you have to accuse me of a crime and arrest me before I give you my identification. There's no such thing as that's fake. Do you see what's going on? Do you see this? I mean, do you see what's going on in our country right now?
I do.
It's not like we don't need protection and we don't need rights protectors and civil rights rights upholders and these things. But the whole terminology to law enforcement has now made it so that cops are hiding on the side of the road to get you. And they don't come out if someone steals your car, but they'll hide on the side of the road to give you a ticket. And it's created a war. I mean, most of the country now is against cops. 52% now is no longer trusts.
I work in the field, Joseph. I totally understand, but I really do. I totally understand. But I will say one thing. At least I know this about me. I can walk anywhere in my city, anywhere in the city that I work in, without a badge and a gun, and I don't fear crap. I don't fear anybody out here because of the way I've treated people my whole career here. Some of the other ones, like you said, some of the other ones can't do that, but I can.
Right. Oh, I
Period. I can. Yeah, I can.
But you haven't treated anybody so bad where you'd put yourself out of sorts if you were just walking down the road and your car broke down. You wouldn't, because now, you know what they're doing now, Chris? They are now blurring out the faces of cops on body cameras. And you know why that is, right? Because there's so many people who hate police. Mm-hmm. I'm not a killer. Like, I really hate cops. I can't stand the policing, and I can't stand the whole law enforcement term. I hate them. I hate everything about it. But I don't wish you death. I don't wish you death.
But you as everybody else wants to be able to live in a state where you don't have to fear. You should be fearing us, and that's one thing.
You see it, Chris. It's happening. It's real. It is real. I'm terrified of cops. I toured the country 2022. Went to Maine and back from California twice. And every city and state I stopped in, as soon as I went to their Facebook page, said, "Hey, I'm in town, everybody," flocks of people would come to me and tell me their stories of cops abusing them.
Yeah.
And you go, why is this happening? The Supreme Court has given our rights to police, where they can get you out of the car, they can hide on the side of the road, they can lie to you, they can deceive you, they can put you in cuffs based on detaining you when you haven't done anything wrong. And that makes it so I don't like you. And it's like, and then I talk to a guy like yourself who wants to be reasonable. You just said it yourself. You could get out of your car anywhere in Cocoa, Florida, and people there are not going to be like, "Oh, let's get that son of a bitch." Whereas Amy, she would have some problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
tell you a quick story, and then I'm going to go take care of my promise. I'm going to go downstairs and do all this. But we were in London, England. We were in London, England, and we were sitting on a bus. My wife, my 2 kids, and I. And the guy turns around and he goes, "I know you." And I'm thinking, dude, I'm on a bus in London. How do you know me? That's what I'm thinking to myself. And he goes, "You're a cop in Cocoa. You stopped me one night." I go, "Oh, great." What did I do? Will this be the one in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of London? He goes, you took care of this, you took care of that, you got me right home, you did all these other things. And my wife looked at me and goes, man, thank God you've always done that shit. And it happened again in Copenhagen, Denmark. We were sitting on our last night eating dinner. That's
pretty amazing. Chris,
and
you didn't...
this whole family looked at me and goes, the mother knew me because I had I helped her kid who was sitting next to her when I was a school resource officer.
You know, Chris, why don't you get rid of these, in the Seabury Commission, 1929, the Wickersham Commission, 32, 33, the Knapp Commission, 74, and in the Mullen Commission, the Knapp Commission in 1994, all of them say that the good cops know that they're bad cops. They know, and every one of the commissions, it says the good cops sure do wish the bad cops to stop being bad cops.
We do.
Who has the authority to stop them, though?
Well, that's where two things come into play, in my opinion. This is a very quick off-the-cuff opinion. It comes from internally where we do not. And I'm going to say one thing about my chief of police. So my chief is not from this county. He's not from this place. Did not grow up here. Has nothing to do with it. But he told us flat out. He goes, listen, I don't have any favors here. I'm not from here. I'm here to do a job, and we're going to do it the way I want it done. Period. And he says, don't think there's any favoritism. And he has shown no favoritism. I mean, he tells you flat out, if you do this, he's going to fire you. If you do this, he's going to fire you. If you do this, he's going to suspend you. He doesn't play around about it at all. And, I mean, he means business, and I appreciate that.
This video's just getting out. It's over statute of limitations, so I can't sue you guys. I just looked it up. You guys are 1 year statute of limitations on civil rights violations. But I thought you had, when it came to light, with you coming to light, I thought you got a grace period of some kind. No.
Because you just found it out, I thought.
Oh, man, you know what? Oh, my God bless you. Let me take a look at that.
I'm almost positive there's, when it comes to light, I mean, as far as I remember, as long as no one else has brought this about in any way, shape, form, or fashion, I believe you have a grace period to file, but I think it's very short. I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't need to be in trouble with you.
I'm a ChatGPT guy, so if you're not familiar with that, watch my video on ChatGPT. It'll help you so much.
I'm going to ask my kid about you is what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask my 17-year-old about you, because knowing him, he probably has listened to you or is tuned into your channel.
I am one of the most popular people in the country because of cops. That's why That's why. And I've grown like a weed because I'm not supposed to be doing this, man. I'm an executive. I just got tired of it. I got tired of people getting killed by the cops and no one having the education to take them on. This says the discovery of a video or any new evidence related to a potential crime, including police abuse, may impact the statute of limitations in certain jurisdictions. It may also, on various specific laws and regulations, a law determines how long prosecutors have to file criminal charges. And new
criminal may be out, but I'm almost positive your other part should be fine.
We could still go after her in a federal civil rights lawsuit.
Yeah, that's what I believe you can do. All right, my turn. Joseph, you get busy on your day. Let me go downstairs and get this moving. I'm going to see if I can find this report or this. You've got the video. So if you've got the video and it's that old, that means it's in our system for some reason. It's labeled in a way that it didn't go away, which is perfect, which is good.
Well, there was a Brevard County case number here.
Give me that. Go.
Number 05-216-MM Mary-039922.
Hold on. Don't worry about the A's and the X's. They don't mean anything. Give me that last number past the MM.
MM-039922.
Perfect. The X's and the A's and the X's, they don't mean anything.
Okay.
I don't even know why they're there, but they don't mean anything.
I mean, Chris, this stuff literally makes my blood boil.
Obviously. I was listening to your blood boiling a few minutes ago.
Just like I want to help this person sue her, because the thing is most people don't know how to sue, and all I do is work as a conduit because I have so many people that follow my channels. And so I reach out to people in Florida. A lawyer reaches out to me, and I say, will you file for me? And they go, yeah, I'll file for her. And then file a lawsuit against this chick, Amy Moon, Cocoa Beach. And
don't worry, if you go out and look me up on the internet, you'll find all kinds of nasty stuff about me. I got this lady who hates my guts, thinks I've done everything wrong in the world. It is what it is. I've been with this. I started with City in 2000. What am I saying? 2000. I started with the City. friend of mine convinced me to come here, and then he decided, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm like, you bastard. You tell me to come here, and then you leave me. That's what I told him. So if you go to, I don't know how much you've looked into this yet, but if you look into, write down Brevard County Clerk of Courts, or what we call BACA, Brevard County Clerk of Courts, go there, and when you log into their site, go to, I think it's called General Case Search or something. Let me see. Let me back up. I know you're all going to be closed. I don't need to know that. Under Public Record Search, you'll see Case Search. You click on that. Then you're going to want to hit the General Public, whatever that thing is, button up on the top. It'll be in red. And then you'll hit, submit. And then you'll go to General Public Court Record Search again. This is so dumb. And then go over to Case. Go to Case Number in your search options. And
Where'd
then
you go to? I'm on the website. You went to Clerk of Courts. Where'd you go first?
Okay, you go to Case Search. You'll see. Stand by. Let me go. All right. Let me go all the way back here to.
Court Records?
Yeah, it's Becca. Yeah. General Public Records, and you'll click that, and then what screen comes up next?
Brevard County Electronic Court Application. Copy.
Okay. You haven't seen the one that says Becca General Public Records, Public Court Records?
Yep, I got it. General Public Court Records.
Then the next one will be just hit submit. It's just telling you all this crap about what you can and can't read. And then there's another. The next one will be a gray button, General Public Court Records again. And then up on top, look for no, don't do that because you won't get it through there. You won't get her unless you have the victim. You won't have it won't work. Just go up there to the third one over where it says search options. Go to case number, and all you need to
go to the third one over. It says what?
It says case type. There should be a bar up there. It says person's name, business name, case type. Do you see that? Okay, click that and then put in the the year.
Oh,
then
I see.
Then the MM and then the 03. You don't have to put anything else after those 0399 numbers.
So
now, once you do that, the case will pop up.
039. What was the last two?
22. And then you'll see it in there, and this will be the case thing that you're looking at. This will give you what the state has on it. And this is misdemeanor first degree resisting officer of. Are you fucking serious?
Wow, they charged him with a crime. Holy shit.
No. Hold on. Looks like she charged him with a crime. All right, hold on. Let me see. I'm going to see as much as you, but I just want to see one thing. The top one should be the 92301. What I mean by 92301 is that's the arrest ticket, the very top one of all those documents, and it was her.
I got it pulled up, but the defendant's name is. And
yep. So you have all that now.
Yeah, and then what was he charged? Where's this charge?
Go to when you're in your search results, you'll see that first line on the very top that says 9/5/2016. Do you see that where it says arrest affidavit?
Yeah.
Click on the little box next to it where it says view.
I'm in the description box. Oh, view. There it is. I see.
Yeah, click those little papers, and then do me a favor, keep your blood pressure low for a minute. Don't go. Just keep your blood pressure low, because you're going to see the name on the bottom. I don't need you going ballistic. Because if you have a heart attack, I don't have any idea where to send people.
I have high blood pressure.
You need to stop having high blood pressure then.
I do have high blood pressure. It's a fact.
No,
this says,
breathe, brother, breathe.
Female who appeared to be underage and an older male. Both the women identified themselves to Amy as 130 and the other 132. They both identified out loud, how old are you? She asked them in the first minute, and they both say their 30s. And then he says they were believed to be involved in drug activity and were on top of a white van. That's true, but they weren't involved in drugs. They were smoking weed at the most. But upon arrival, defendant Nicholas Foda and a white female on the top of the roof van. There was a second white female sitting in the driver's seat. The occupants were asked to come off the roof to speak for safety reasons. No, you're ordering me around. So defendants immediately became argumentative with me. Yeah, because they didn't want to give you ID because you don't have to. We don't live in a police state. I asked for identification to proceed with my investigation. You don't have the right to ask for ID. There's no probable cause. The defendant refused to comply with my request. Of course they did. It's their rights to. He was asked at least 4 times to provide identification. At least one point he replied to me, I don't have to listen to a damn thing you're telling me. And he doesn't. Mm-hmm. He kept repeatedly asking why I was harassing him and saying that he didn't believe that I was a real cop. although I was in full uniform and driving a marked patrol car. He also kept saying this is not Nazi Germany, but that's how she pretended it was. Mm-hmm. Due to his behavior being outnumbered with police on the scene and not knowing who I was still inside the van, the defendant was asked to sit down on the ground at least 5 times. I don't have to sit on the ground without probable cause. You're not allowed to order me around. That's not how it works. That's not even a Terry stop. A Terry stop has to have reasonable articulable suspicion and a single articulable fact of criminality. He continued repeating the things mentioned. At the time the defendant was detained, he was taken into custody and transported to the county jail for my body camera video in evidence.
Okay, that means that's why you still have it, because she labeled it as evidence, which means it won't. We have 80,000 videos that have been labeled as evidence from everything from we're going to have a dog encounter, so that's why it's still here, because we haven't gotten around to going back through and looking at all the ones that we have and putting their appropriate dates up. So that's really good, because generally by now this one would be gone because it's a misdemeanor crime. We only hold them for 7 years.
Can I get this
5 years? 5 years.
Oh, this is the body cam I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, you're looking at the body camera. You've got it. Now, if you need to know other things, because I'm going to say out loud that I'm assuming you're asking me this question of you're asking me, you want to know exactly how to get everything that the police department has, is I believe the question that you just asked me. So you need to make a records request for the CAD report.
Yep, got that.
You need to make you need the CAD report. You want to see any don't say QPRs, but you want to see any quick property receipts. You want a list of any evidence that was taken and put into property and evidence. You want that list. That way you'll be able to know everything that the officer collected and kept or used.
A CAD report to call in.
The call in. You want that because it'll tell you all the officers that were either dispatched or sent there or should have been on scene or whatever. And you need to find out if any of them wrote reports. Computer-aided dispatch. If that's what you're asking me, computer-aided dispatch is all it is. I'm sorry, I'm speaking in jargon. I apologize.
I'll
see if I can find it. But I'll send you a thing on what you may want to do in the future as to how to ask for things to make sure you cover all your bases. I don't know if you have any template like that, but I've got one that I've seen from another person who request everything in the world once a week. It seems like we're just so used to them. So we have I kind of have a template.
Everybody.
Well, some do, some don't. And then some of them, unfortunately, we have some crazy ones that are just, if they even see a cop in the area, they do a public records request.
How do we know what happened with Nicholas?
Nicholas. Oh, because it doesn't say he was transported to the jail, does it? So let me see. Did she well, no, she had to take him to the jail because she didn't ROR him, because there's no, if you look on the first page of that arrest affidavit, you'll see where it says mandatory court appearance almost at the bottom. That would be filled in if she had released him on his, if she had ROR'd him, released him on recognizance. I can't ever say that word right. So let me see if there's anything else in there. Okay, so here's the next thing you do. Go back to the internet and go to.
Well, you said CAD, and then the other thing is all the evidence.
You want to know you want to know any property that was collected and put into property and evidence.
What do you call it? QAD?
Quick property, just quick property receipts or property receipt. You just have to put property receipt. Don't worry about quick property receipts. You want to know. You want a copy of the property receipts of any evidence or any other items that were collected in reference to this case. All right, so let's go to Brevard County Sheriff's Office.
I hope you're close to retiring, Chris.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I'm not. I do this because I love my job. I love what I do. I work with great detectives, and I still come out here every day to make a difference. That's my whole goal. Make that difference.
Not abusing people, but there's so many cops today. They're blurring the body cam footage now, Chris. Why do you think that's happening?
I don't understand why they would do. I mean, I don't know why we do that. We're in the public view. I mean, I don't understand why somebody who's redacting a video would be doing that. That part doesn't make sense.
They're passing laws all over the country that the body cam footage will be redacted.
Let me tell you, in our state, body camera footage, there's certain requirements you have to even get some body camera. You got to have certain body cameras. You'll have to have damn near, it seems like, a court order some days. But they involve specific cases. They involve very specific cases.
Do you think that's a good thing? Or shouldn't? I mean, don't you think there should be a third party that collects all camera footage, redact the kids' faces, and then release it to the public? Anybody should go pipe into server, Cocoa, Florida, 2729, and tap into that server and look at those. What I'd like to do is look through Amy's body cam footage for the last 3 years every day of every shift she went on, and that should be accessible to me just by logging on my computer.
I would, yes, but the only problem with that is the only issue that I could see with it, and let me put it from this point of view, for what you're doing specifically makes sense to me. I got that. But then we have other people that are doing it for malicious, that have malicious motives involved, and when we're looking at a rape victim, or we're looking at a child victim, or we're looking at or elderly victims of certain things, where that's where they kind of get very sticky on what is released and what isn't. Now, if you have something that's related to a cop complaint, like the cop comes in and does X, Y, and Z, then it's Chris Bradshaw's opinion, but that should be something that should be viewed by a third party, and viewed by a third party in the presence of of not necessarily the officer, but a police officer, to view it as you look at it, or put it up on the screen where you can look at the screen and there you go, and that's it. And then you're bound by what you can and can't talk about. Like if you hear the victim's name, you can't repeat it. If you hear this, you can't do that, because we also in our state, and I'm pretty sure you guys have Marcy's law and all these other laws that have come up about everything. So that would be that would be the one thing that somebody needs to sit back and think about doing, and how you can cross those bridges to put more trust in the public.
You just redact all names and all faces, and the third party does it. And then I can look through Amy Brown's footage for the last 10 years of her career. And I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why, Chris. I traveled the country, and what I found out, sadly, is that most people are, number one, uneducated, and number two, they are scared. They are afraid of police. So that means that, for example, for Tennessee, if someone says, man, you should see the body cam footage of what happened to my cousin. And then I go, well, get the body cam footage. He says, oh, my cousin doesn't even want to apply for it. He's scared.
Yeah.
I'm a law scholar. How can I see the footage and let you know if it's a civil rights violation? Like what Amy did to this kid, I guess he's not a kid anymore. I mean, I guess he was born in 1985. But so he's not a kid. He's 40 years old, 38 years old. He's got to be pissed, dude. I mean, he probably got a criminal record from this. I mean,
now, did he contact? No, never mind. I don't answer that question. I don't need to know. I was just wondering. Somebody. That's good. That's good. I just didn't know how it come. So if you go to BavardSheriff.com, or type this in Google. Type Brevard County Sheriff's Office inmate search. He's only in here one time, just so you know. He's only in BCS's booking one time. He had long hair, apparently. And then you'll see, when you pull that up, you'll see name, put his last name in.
What booking right here?
Yeah, it's Brevard County Sheriff's Office inmate booking search.
Bookings, yeah, I got that. Oh, okay.
And then click there, and then, you can go to his, put his last name in, and it'll come up. So that's the next thing you can see there. That tells you when he came in. He was he went to jail on the 5th. He arrived at 7:41 p.m. He was released the following day at 4:30 in the afternoon, basically. He had an MMA warrant, and if we go back here, let me go back to one other thing while I got you on the phone, just so I can kind of save you a little bit of headache. Okay, notice no information. That looks like they may have completely dropped the case also, but let me look and see. Notice no information to State of Florida, and they're blah, 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 blah. State does not intend to file any information at this time on the criminal charges that were set above by her. So they dropped and Michael Bowen's the one who dropped the case. So they dropped the case on top of it.
Yeah, Chris, it's really funny. Thanks for this conversation with me. It's been a nice one. But, I'll tell you what made me the way I am, right, is, before there was a camera phone, I would be I'd be out everywhere all the time. I was always a real social guy. And I would see cops abusing people, and I'd be like, yo, you don't need to push his face into the concrete. And I'd be yelling at the cop, and I would get arrested.
Oh, my God.
And this happened to me a dozen, 24 times. I don't know how many times. When I see someone abusing someone else, because I got abused. So when I see someone abuse someone else, no matter what I want to do, I immediately put myself right in the middle of the scene. And the cops would arrest me for no reason, and then I would have no charges. I wonder how many of these people could look up on me all over the country. Oregon, Florida, Washington, California, Arizona, Texas, Minnesota. I've been arrested in all those states. So,
well, remember one thing about your passion.
I've never heard anybody.
No. I'm saying, when you're a passionate person like I am about things, and like you obviously are about things, just remember sometimes we need to. I'm not telling you not to do what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, but always be that person that can always be there to record those things. You know what I mean by that is like.
Well, I am now, but I was arrested all those times before, Chris. All those times before. What made me the way I am now, and I'm a real. Look, I would love to have you get your email and reach out to you and talk to you some more, and have you come on to the programming.
Oh, brother, I'd be stuttering and everything else. I could talk to you on the phone, but I couldn't do any of that stuff. I appreciate it, but I can always give you my opinion. You can always have it.
How far are you from retirement?
Really, I could retire in 25, but I got a kid, and I got an older one and I got a younger one, and as long as I'm working, they're covered under insurance up until they're 26. So I'm trying to get those two knuckleheads out on their feet and get them going the right way, and then once that happens, I'm going to retire. But again, as I'm upstairs, I get to educate, I get to help my guys up here, and I get to fix shit on the road because I can send reports back going, no, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do this? And I teach, and one of the first things I get that I teach these guys when they come in is I teach the ethical part of stuff, and then I teach them their body cameras and stuff like that. And I say, listen, this thing right here will save your ass more than you will ever believe. And I said, anybody who tells you otherwise, don't be around them. This fucking camera will save your ass because you'll be the public, and everybody else will be able to see. And yeah, will they scrutinize it? Yeah, but you know something? And I tell everybody that camera saved more cops' jobs and vindicated them, but in the same breath, it has also gotten rid of a ton of our problems.
So we're on opposite teams, bro. So the fact that we be cordial and kind to each other, it's fine. I don't treat anybody bad. Doesn't treat me bad. So, but you think that the cameras catch more people lying about cops than there are bad cops?
No. What I was trying to convey is, yes. Now let me say this to you. I can tell you when I was downstairs in internal affairs, I'm going to say at least 7 cases that I can remember right off the bat from last year. 7 cases. The people came in and made these crazy long, off the wall, complaints on these officers, and the body cameras were running. I'll give you one of them as a traffic stop. It was a traffic stop. The guy cut his camera on before he even made the stop. The other 3 officers that showed up, all their body cameras were on. You read this complaint that this person wrote. They said they came up, tried to pull me out of the car. I told him no, I wasn't getting out. Then he ordered me out of the car, telling me that I'm the police and you're going to do exactly what I say. And I mean, and I'm being dead serious. This guy went on and on and on. You go back and you watch the video, and nothing happened. The only thing that the one officer did wrong, and listen, I'm not liked in this agency because when you become an internal affairs officer, people don't like you. You don't get invites to all your shit because you're the one policing them. But I watched that whole video on all the body cameras that were there from beginning to end, and the only thing that I went and I spoke back to 2 of the officers about, I said, let me tell you something. Do not engage. Do not get sucked into arguing with people. Do your job and be done with it. He got you all at the end. He started nipping at you, and you all nipped back with your exchange of words. I said, but the best thing is that when the canine officer showed up and told you all to get in your car and leave, that's the best thing that happened. I said, you guys cannot let people incite you with these little nipping words things. You followed all the procedures and all the policies and all the state laws, and I give you all credit on it. But at the very end, all of a sudden, you all wanted to bicker back and forth about things. We're not there to bicker. Do your job. Get it done. If you're going to write him a ticket, and get the fuck out. Let's go. We're not going to sit here and debate the color of air, okay? We're not going to debate those issues. And so that is where probably in at least 7 cases I remember from last year before I got moved, I read the complaints, and then you know what I did? I called the complainant back and I say, hey, can you come in? Do you mind coming in? I want to watch the video camera. I want to watch the video with you because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything that you wrote in your complaint. And I've had people, they come in, we sit at my desk, I turn on the camera, and I go, all right, let's watch it. And we watch the whole stop, or we watch the whole interaction or everything, and I go, I can't find what you wrote here in this video. Where is it at? Am I missing it? Or is there a perception? What's the issue? You know, and then they're like, oh, well, and I said, you were probably really angry. I said, but I called you in because I want you to know that this isn't just, I'm blowing this off. Here's the video. Here's this. And that's one of the cool things. But you know what the problem is? We have a lot of that never, ever happen, where somebody will not do what I like to do. They will not come in and talk and listen and convey messages and stuff like that.
So, you know, when I talk to guys like you, and you're personable and affable, and I like you as a person on the phone. You've been an amazing human being. So when I talk to guys like you, I used to have this idea in my head that you honestly just didn't know. You just don't know. You know, I in 2022, I interviewed lots of cops when I traveled between here and Maine and back, and I talked to lots of cops, and I talked to a guy like yourself who's affable and gregarious, and I would feel like, man, Chris, they're just pulling the one over on Chris. He doesn't know. Like, he doesn't know that half the cops on Cocoa, Florida Police Department are carrying drop guns. He doesn't know. He doesn't know half the cops are carrying drop drugs. He just doesn't know. And now, Chris, I'm a little bit more mature than that. I've been doing this for a couple of years now where I'm in the field. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe you. I think that you do know. I think that you know there's so many bad cops on your force. And I'm sure that in your heart you really wish you could get rid of them, because you don't sound, if you can walk around with your head up in Cocoa, Florida, then you're probably not a bad guy. But those guys couldn't. At least half of them are carrying drop guns and drop drugs. And you know it, and I know it. You know it, Chris.
I'll say this. Let me say this. Guns, carrying drop guns, we search vehicles. One of the things I did was I would do spot inspections. I'd search a vehicle front to back, up, down, and sideways.
Chris,
if you've got a gun in your car and I find it, you're going to be in some serious trouble. Number one. Now, drop drugs, I don't know any.
Listen, say it again.
With drop drugs, I mean, we've never had somebody complain and tell us that. I mean, I can't say that that's not necessarily true. When I was in that position downstairs and all the complaints I dealt with and looked at, no one ever came in and said that we had planted drugs on anybody. Now, and don't misunderstand, I'm not saying it doesn't occur, because we flat out know it occurs, because cops get arrested for it every day.
That's what I'm trying to say. There's a good percentage of your cops right in your department who have drop drugs and drop guns on them. And just so you know, Chris, you don't find them in the car. They're dropped when they step on their own tie and end up with their tongue in the concrete, and they have killed somebody or shot somebody who didn't have a gun, or they've arrested somebody for drugs and there was no drugs in the car and they plant the drugs. And that's in every police department in America. So which are the guys on your force that are doing it?
I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. If I find them, I can tell you what's going to happen. Those handcuffs, those torture cuffs, they'll go on them, because I'll be the one putting them on them. I can tell you that right now. I don't play those games.
When I meet guys like yourself, I want to get hope again, and the people who I interview, when I interview cops and they're sitting in their cars and they put on this good face, and then we find out later that the same cop I interviewed that gave everybody hope was under felony indictment for hurting somebody. And I was like, his name was Adam Hanna out of Colorado. And I just happened to be in Colorado, happened to walk by this dude who they actually called to investigate me. The prosecutor's office thought that I had maybe cut a deal with this guy and wanted to make him look good in a good light, because I'm a real hostile person towards cops.
You're a passionate person towards cops. You're not hostile. You're passionate.
Oh, you haven't seen my videos. I'm pretty aggressive.
You're still a passionate person. You care about what you're doing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you go look me up online, you'll see that I got labeled as a, what was it I got labeled as? I got labeled as a profiler cop. I got labeled as a profiler or something. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But basically what had happened was this guy I stopped.
Brevard? No, it's Brevard County. What's your last name?
Yeah, Bradshaw. Bradshhaw. So if you look me up, you'll see that I got labeled as I want to say it was a profiler cop. And what it was is this guy I'd stopped. He nearly caused 2 traffic crashes, and then came off the interstate, not the interstate, but the highway, and nearly ran off into the median. So I stopped him, and he was speeding. I said, I get up to him, and the whole time he's going, I swear to God, 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 I swear to God. That's all he kept saying. And so I go back, I do the ticket, I come back, and I go, he says it to me again. I said, sir, listen. And this is the voice I gave it to him in. I said, sir, listen, you can pray to God, you can pray to Allah, it doesn't matter. You broke these traffic laws, and I'm only writing you this one citation, and that's it. And it's a fix-it ticket. I believe it was a fix-it ticket, which means he goes and he gets the equipment fixed. I think it was like his headlight or his backlight or whatever. But, I said, listen, you got to calm down, you got to slow down. You ran 2 people off the road, but here's a fix-it ticket, and that's it. I turned around and I walked away from him. Well, I got written up because I said the word Allah. And I was labeled as a profiling, whatever they call me. I got labeled as that because I said the word Allah. Now, the other thing that you'll find on me is that I was written up and investigated for an inappropriate relationship that I had with a convicted felon, which I did, and I told the investigators, everybody I did it, I had an inappropriate relationship. But in the internal affairs, they said that these two, this woman that I had this interaction and affair with, was ultimately arrested for defrauding the elderly. And now, for whatever reason, 7 years or however many years later, now it's like this one person who can't stand me has gone about the business of going, oh, well, FDLE should have been called in. He should have been investigated. He should have been fired. I never had anything to do with that. I just had an inappropriate relationship with somebody. I had no idea what else they were doing, and I didn't have any idea. But those are my mistakes. Those are my issues. And I can tell you one thing: every time I fuck up, I go, I did it. Right here, this guy. Ain't gonna even argue about it. Don't need no union rep. I did it.
Zach Wester was amazing, dude. Zach Wester down there in Florida. You know who he is?
The name sounds really familiar, but give me some more information. Maybe I'm
gregarious, personable, super likable guy.
Yeah.
And then he planted drugs on dozens of people.
See, that's bullshit.
He's doing some prison time, only like 10 or 12 years or something. He should have got 100 years. But he was such a piece of garbage. And I just Chris, I want to believe you're one of the good guys, man. And I really like talking to you, man. You're an awesome dude. You really gave me good information. You helped me a lot. So
that's me. What you see today is what you get any day of the week. Any day of the week. That's the person you see is the person you get. My wife will tell you this. He can tell life to an Eskimo.
Well,
I'm a friendly guy, dude. That's just this is the way I am.
All right, why don't you do something else?
Because I love coming in every day and making one person happy. I love coming in and making one victim happy as much as I can.
You think you make one victim happy every day?
I try to. I try and change. I try and help a victim every day at least. Because I'll take cases from my detectives, but I try and make a difference in somebody's life every day. I was an SRO for 5 years at Cocoa High School. Out of those 5 years, I've still got 7. I call them my 7 adopted children, who have all graduated, who are all in their 20s and in their late 20s, getting ready to turn into their 30s, and they all still come to the house, come in to hang out, and still all the stuff that we have because of the bond I built with them. And there are community leaders in this city that, I ask them, what do we need? When somebody needs something done a lot of times they'll call me for me to come and help them because they know I'll go get the shit done. I get it done. We're not going to sit here and pawn it off. I used to be with our Cops and Kids program. I used to be with our community resource program, our community engagement. That's what I've done because that's the guy I am. Shit, I got a culinary degree. That should tell you the kind of person I am alone right there. Is that I've been in that giving manner my whole life.
But Chris, hold on a minute.
Okay.
Just so you know, I'll be honest. I'm a nationally known activist. I'm a huge channel. I tell my people that all cops are jackboot thug pigs, and they're all on the same team, the blue team, and their job is to pull you over, kidnap, torture cuff you, and take you to a dungeon and steal your money. That's what I tell my flock about you. So how am I now to believe that you don't toe the thin blue line?
The only thing I can do,
the
only thing any of us can do that do this and who are...
You wear a blue stripe flag?
No, I don't have any. My kid's got them in his room. I have thin blue line stuff all over the place. Yeah, I got that. I mean, yeah, I've got it. I don't wear it.
Well, let me help you out, my friend. We hate it. We see it as a gang symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but you can't just that and then me wear my red bandana in the south side of Chicago. That's not how it works. You don't just go, that's how you feel. No. That's the same as that south side Chicago cop seeing guys in red and blue bandanas both streaking through the alley. That's how we see it. And you don't get to sidestep it. It's atrocious. It is the giant abyss between us that you guys would hold and choose a gang symbol when there's so many millions of us, not just a couple. And I tell you, look, I've been respectful to you, haven't I? I haven't treated you poorly.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to keep your blood pressure down, but go ahead. Keep going. I just don't need you stroking out on the phone with me. That's why I said you're passionate.
You are correct. So, but how do you tote that around or sport that or have your kids sport it knowing it's just dividing line? It is the dividing line. If you walk in wearing that blue stripe, so say I come to Florida, and I say, man, this really cool cop over there in Cocoa, and I'm going to go over there and meet with you, and you come in to meet with me to have a burger with me and a beer, and you're wearing a blue stripe flag, I'll wear a shirt that says "fuck the police."
I got one of those at the house.
Right, but it's appropriate for me to do to you? I mean, if we're going to be friends.
But let me say this to you, for what it's worth.
The gang
your beliefs, not beliefs. When we talk about the shirts in the thin blue line, everybody out there has their own symbol, in their own symbol of whatever symbol things they need, whatever semblance of being able to say, this is who I am. I don't want to argue I won't argue with somebody over a color of a bandana, a blue stripe, a pink stripe, a purple stripe, a green stripe, or whatever. That right there cannot, in my opinion, cannot be the beginning to rectify the underlying deep problem. I mean, okay, so here's a color, here's a flag, here's a this, here's that. But okay, so I take it away. But if I can't persuade, or if I can't convince, or if I can't help change your internal belief system, whatever's on the outside of your shirt or your pants or your house or your car doesn't mean anything. I need, for what I try and do is that I try and present to people who I am, what I am, and how I am not a robot. I have sat in roll calls and argued with administrators about things they tell us to go. One administrator told us to go do it, and this was probably 10 or 15 years ago. I looked at him and I said, I won't do it. And I said, if you're ordering me to do it, put it on paper, and then you better get the write-up ready, because I'm not going to do it. And I said that in front of a room full of cops, and I said, I don't give a shit what anybody else in there does. That is not going to happen with me, period. And then I looked at him, I go, are we done here? Yeah, I said, because apparently you all need to have a conversation. I don't need to be in the room for it. And I fucking walked out, got in my car, and went out and did my goddamn job. But if this symbol is the symbol is not the deeper rooted concern. It's the belief system. It's your belief system. It's my belief system. It's the assumed belief system that every cop in the world, or every cop in the United States, is X, Y, is A, B, C, D, and E, and F, and we're not. We're all different people. Do we have bad apples in every bunch? Absolutely. Do we have bad apples in the world of activism? Yeah, we do. But you know what? The only way we can ever get back to a spot where we have balance is when everybody can sit down and begin to make a change and talk. But then the hardest part of it is, and this is what doesn't happen a lot of times, there's no follow-through from anybody. That's the problem.
You know, there's 3 or 4 things I can go back on, but I don't want to go back on it.
No, don't go.
Well, I mean, number one, you can't say sport in a gang. So let me tell you the difference between my interactions with police who are wearing symbol, who are just wearing their badge. There's a big difference between how I treat those 2 different people. If I come on the scene and you're wearing a gang symbol, you're going to get me. And I'm not nice to you. I'm going to be rude and mean and hostile and aggressive. Okay. And I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just taking you on. I'm taking on a gang member in the streets on camera. My weapon is that I'm filming you. That's my whole weapon, okay? So you can't say that your gang symbol doesn't matter, because if I meet you in real life, Chris, and you're wearing a gang symbol, I'll tell you to F off. Like, get away from wearing that. Like, I want to be connected to you, and I want to know you, and I want to be your friend. Hopefully you're here to protect and serve. And then the second thing is, you said it doesn't go to the hard underlying problem. What is that? And then the third thing, you said I'm going to go out and do my job. What is your job?
I don't want to cut you off. I don't know if you want me to answer that, or I was waiting to see if you had any more.
No, what I want to know that, like, those two things. What is the underlying problem? What's the hard problem?
Well, no, the underlying problem, what I believe is the underlying problem is that we have now just started within the last few years to really start opening up, where in the world of copdom, it's always been, there's a wall. And one of the first things you learn in the academy, I mean, I'm working on my master's right now, and, one of the papers that I've been dealing with and writing about is that us versus them mentality that's been around forever. The problem is that until some of these old...
Mullen Commission. It's in the 1994 Mullen Commission. You can get it on my website, Delete Lawz. It's free. I don't sell it. Just read the Mullen Commission, and then I'll let you know what I think. Tell me what I think about your Internal Affairs Division.
Okay. See, and that's another thing. I don't take offense to any of it, because you have a God-given right to every one of your opinions, and you have facts
I'm not trying to offend. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm picking back facts, and I want to know the truth about what the underlying problem is.
Well, yeah. What the underlying problem is that
culture of the wall of silence.
The culture. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, that's one of them. That us versus them mentality. That wall of not letting people in. And we have, in this profession still, you still have some very old dinosaurs that are still, that still sit back on this mentality of things, of that no, we don't do this. No, you need to stop doing this. No, and I look at them, I go, let me make this clear. I have a job to do. I do it the way that I believe the law tells me how to do it. And I'm not going to come out here and violate people's civil rights. You can pack that idea up. I have been put down on the ground at gunpoint with two deputies who thought I had just committed a fucking robbery and shot at the person, and it wasn't me at all. And I was laid in the middle of a road when I was a kid.
You had guns drawn on you?
Yeah, when I was 17. I was 17 years old, and there had been a robbery right up the road where they had shot at the clerk. And I was driving a red Toyota Corolla, and at the time the suspect vehicle was a red Toyota Corolla, and it was a white guy. But thank God I had a Pizza Hut delivery uniform on, shirt on, and I had a hat, which the guy didn't have, and so on and so forth. So I got, they dusted me off. They figured out it wasn't me, and they said, "Go about your merry way."
They still pointed their guns at the pizza boy?
Huh?
They pointed their guns at you?
Yeah, they didn't know I was a pizza guy yet until they got me up off the ground and cuffed me and everything and brought me back over. They saw the Pizza Hut shirt, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm working. There's pizza boxes in the back of the car." And where are you coming from? And I told them where I was coming from, and it was in the total wrong area of where the robbery had just occurred.
But then you still want to be a cop after that, after the guns and the ground and the cuffs?
Oh yeah, dude, I got brought home by the sheriff's office a couple of times growing up because of the stupid shit I did. And I mean, one deputy was a total jackass to me, and the other one was, he came and then he kept coming back and checking on me and making sure I was doing the right thing. And, that's one of the things that when I talk about our different, we haven't for a long time communicated with the public. And one of the things that I always used to tell my guys, and I still tell them, it's just like up here in the Detective Bureau, I say to them, listen to me. When I assign you a case, I want you to call the victim within the first 5 to 10 days, but I want that victim to hear your voice. I want that victim to know we're doing this. Now, will it probably take us time to investigate their case? Yeah, but give that victim some kind of notice that you've got it. It's in your hands. That's reassurance. That's the first thing I tell them to do. And then I tell them, you're going to exhaust everything you can exhaust while you're up here, because when I read that final report and I get ready to close it out, if you haven't done something I think you need to do, I'm going to send it back to you and tell you to go do it. And I said, those are my rules to begin with. I'm not but back to what the questions you were asking me are. My belief system is that in this world we have been too quiet, and that we have not done things that officers need done. Like, We are now finally getting around to giving officers mental health, giving them out, giving them mental health, getting them out of their box, having them talk to people, having to do this. And as a matter of fact, we will force an officer to go to mental health counseling if we believe there's an issue. And you have to go to it. You can't say no.
There's an issue, Chris. There's an issue. Send a lot of them. Send them quick.
Oh, bro, listen to me. I have been. Matter of fact, one of our guys just got arrested the other day, and I was so disappointed in him getting arrested. But and I'm terribly. I hate it. But as I told him, I said, the way the rules are. If it comes to me, they give it to me to investigate. You know how this is going to work, and if it's there, I told him flat out, I was like, we're going to fire you, period. But that wall of non-communication to me is the biggest problem that there is. And I'm going to make an assumption. So I'm going to make an ass out of myself with you. And it goes like this. I am pretty sure that in some of your interactions with cops prior to, I'll say, your activist days, I'll bet that you had interactions with police officers where they were total assholes, number one. They never gave you a reason, a legitimate reason as to who, how, what, when, where, and why. And they didn't do any of that, and they just pushed you away like you were a piece of trash.
Time.
And
they took me with them in torture cuffs and took me to a dungeon and dropped me off at the most dangerous time period of my life for the next however many hours I'm in there. I'm at the most danger. I get strip searched. I have to pull my sack up, let a stranger look up my asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go into this place where it's now divided by race. And I love all colors of people. I'm friends with all colors of people. And if I look up at the guards, then they'll tell me to look down at the ground, not look at them. And I haven't done anything wrong. There's no victim in my path. So that brings me to my next question. What is your job? When you go to do your job, what's your job?
Technically, my job is I am the criminal investigations supervisor. So I direct detectives, and I have interaction with our drug unit and our drug unit sergeant. But overall, I have victim advocates, I have crime analysts, and then I'm the backup administrator to our body camera program and our taser program. I'm the one that teaches these guys how to use it and do everything with it. I tell them all the ins and outs of it, and there are things I tell them, don't do this. One of the things that drives me up the fucking wall, they don't do it anymore. They used to turn their body cameras on and off when they were changing statements from, like, if we had 5 victims or 5 people they need to interview, they would interview this person, then they turn their body camera off, then they turn it back on, and then they'd interview that person, and they turn it off, and then they'd interview that person. I'm like, leave the damn thing on the whole time. But sir, do we want to break them up? No, just leave it on. Just leave it on. And we have a policy that if you turn that damn mute button on, you better have a damn good reason for doing it, and you can pretty much bet you're probably going to be written up. So we've taken care of that issue. So criminal investigations, I handle our body camera program. I manage our victim advocates, crime analysts. I do spot inspections to the entire agency. I do accreditation. I have more shit to do, and I'm also the traffic homicide supervisor on top of that.
But I don't hear any. But what is the job of a cop? Because your job is
I understand.
To me over, arrest me, take me to the dungeon, and take my money, and that's your job as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
And that's the opinion of. Let me just say. That's the opinion of, I have hundreds of thousands of people who subscribe to my channel.
Absolutely.
So that means that people who follow me, obviously, a lot of those people feel the same way. So what is, when you say you're a cop and everybody has a brother or a neighbor or a cousin or a lover who's a cop, they're part of America. So what's your job?
The job of police now is building. Well, first off, the job of police, obviously, as it always says, we're here to serve and protect the public. But in today's world, I think there needs to be a little more underlying in that, and not be super fine, small, itty-bitty fine print. It really needs to be your community relations, and that's something that we have pushed. Our agency has a very good interaction and a very. Why can't I talk? Our agency has a very good relationship with all of our youth programs here, and all of our youth programs surround are minorities in our city, because that's what we have. We have a lot of Section 8 housing here and stuff like that, but we have a unit. Granted, they're down 2 positions right now, but we have a unit solely that is community engagement. It's all they do is community engagement. All of our officers, when they come to our agency, all have to go through community engagement training. And that's really where we really need to be in Copdom, period. There, is being educators and being sympathetic and having empathy and getting into the community and knowing your community, because like I said to you before, I got no fears about walking through the city in the middle of the night. Not a damn one in the world. And that's where every officer should be, is that they should be able to walk through their community without a problem at all. And again, I will say, and you've said it best, and there are going to be bad apples in every bunch. But is every cop a bad person? No, they're not. And you know that. You have the ones out there that make the national news media that do shit like you're looking at right now, which is absolutely uncalled for and outside the boundaries of the law, and those are the ones that need to be disciplined and dealt with.
The original reason I called, but you still didn't really answer, right? You told me
trying.
No, but what I'm saying is that your job, as far as I'm concerned, is to uphold people's rights and to protect rights.
Right. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And you guys instead, though, are law enforcers. And you're going to enforce the law upon us, any law you can possibly enforce upon us. Even you'll committee and powwow afterwards and say, well, what can we charge him with? And that is the whole problem.
I remember those days.
When I talk to you, Chris, it's like you have blinders on.
I don't have blinders on. I'm not that naive. I know better than that. I'm not that naive.
I'm not trying to insult you because I've been.
No, I know.
I'm not trying to be mean to you, dude. What I'm saying is how I asked you what a cop is, what the job is, and I re-questioned you. What is a cop supposed to do? What's a cop's job? A cop's job is to uphold rights, and instead you guys call yourselves law enforcers and you wear a gang symbol. And as long as that continues, you and I are, bro, we could sit down and have a burger, and I hardly ever drink, but I would have a beer with you.
And I don't drink anymore either way, so I'd have sweet tea.
I'm too, it affects me too much the next day. But what I'm saying is you cannot sport a gang symbol and call yourselves law enforcers and hide on the side of the road and then turn on and off the body camera. You nailed it, man. Turning on and off the body camera footage. And
remember what I said to you about why their justification was for doing that. And with that being said, in that instance, and in that example, we have subsequently told them to stop doing that. Now, here's the rules in our agency, and all of our, just so you know. Hey, Joseph, you're moving because I can't hear you. You're broken up. There you are.
Who are the guys that have drop guns in your department?
I've never seen any of that. We don't have. Understand, in the last shooting, we've had 2 shootings.
I'm reading about it right now.
We've had 2 shootings in the last. I think we had 2 shootings where we shot the person was in the last 2020. I think was our last one, and the one before that, the officer come up, kicked the guy off the lady as he is stabbing her, and shoots him after he's yelling at him to get away from her, and he won't do it, and he kicks him. The guy gets up, starts coming at him with a knife, and he shoots him. Other than that, the last time we had a shooting...
was that the one I saw where he was like in between the chick's legs with a knife?
It could have been that one where he's stabbing her in the park in front of all the kids.
There was a brutal one I saw, and I never... listen, I'm not down for shooting people, but there was a brutal that I saw where the dude was between a chick's legs and then I think it was in New York, and he got up and tried and had the knife, and the cop shot him, and everybody was mad. And I was like, wait a minute.
But
I hate cops. You cannot have a knife on another person and have a gun. If I have my gun and I'm there, I'll shoot that guy myself.
Exactly.
What are you
That's
talking
exactly
about?
it.
I just need one juror to agree with me.
Well, you wouldn't even in our county. You probably wouldn't even get that far. They'd be like, hell no. He's Good Samaritan Act. He's got stand the ground law. He's got the Castle Doctrine. Well, not Castle Doctrine. Excuse me. He's got the stand your ground law. No, we wouldn't even make it that way. It wouldn't even make it that far. Okay, listen.
Well,
hold on.
We got miles to go. And last one I have for you is,
go ahead.
Why can't you get rid of those torture cuffs, dude? Like, what is the problem?
Dude, I have no idea how to even begin to talk to that. That's one that you and I will have to sit and probably both of us drink one night and see if we can come up with an answer for that.
I could give you Velcro straps that most 99% of people, 99%, when you say, hey, listen, I'm going to hold you on camera right here. You can run off. I'm going to show the judge you ran off. You'll probably get charged with felony. I'm not even going to chase you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? I think 90% of people who are not on meth or not. Even if I'm drunk, I want to run off. I might walk 4 feet and sit down, but I don't want to. I don't want to get a felony on camera. And no police department has tried that. No police department has said, we're not going to detain people at all. You can come with us. We need you to come with us. And you're on camera, and we're going to show the judge. And if you act crazy, we'll call a whole squad of people in here, and you know how it'll go. But if we're going to give you 30 minutes here, 45 minutes, an hour. And then after that, if you don't come with us, we're going to bring those guys in. They're going to come grab you. You can run. Go ahead,
we have guys that'll give you a head start.
You can run. I got your face. You're on camera. I'm sending this out to everybody. It's going to go on social media that you're a runner. And everybody's going to pay attention, but you're going to get charged with felony. It's going to be horrible. I think 90% of people don't go a damn foot away. Now, you told me that, Chris. I may not like it, but I'm not going to leave. I might tell you to go F yourself. I might tell you to suck my. I might tell you you're a punk ass pig. All those things, right?
Oh wow, I've been called all those things. I'm good with that.
Tell me the judge is watching, and if you walk off right now, or you assault me or anybody else, you're going to get charged with felony by the judge. You're talking to the judge. Whatever you want to do is up to you. You can even point your body camera right at him. It's right here, dude. I'm not even going to touch you. Do whatever the hell you want. Or you got to come with me because your girlfriend's got a black eye. What do you want to do? Yeah. We're going to take you. What do you want to do? How do you want to do this? Come on. Chris, why hasn't that been done anywhere?
I have no idea. I really don't know.
I mean, for officer safety. The Terry versus Ohio, that's why.
Oh, no. I don't know why they haven't tried that. I can tell you that. That would be a very interesting thing to try, but it'd be very interesting to see. But I can tell you that some people will go climb in the car. I arrested a lady one night for DUI, and she said, "I'm drunk. I know I'm going to jail." And she walked over to the back of my car and got in the back seat. She was like, "Whoa, come here, cowgirl. We got to pat you down first. I got to make sure I need a female officer to come pat you down. You think you're in the back of my car? You could have a gun on you. You could." I don't know what you might be out there smoking weed while we're going to the jail. I can't get in trouble for that.
You teach people how to tase other people?
No. I'm not a taser instructor at all. I have the tasers and I'm part of the management team of that, but I don't deal with that. I don't want to learn that shit. I don't want to learn it. I don't want to learn it because I don't need it. I'm upstairs. I'm not on the road, and I still have my old one, but our new ones are out there. They're getting ready to force us all over into the new ones, which is good, which is cool.
Into the new what?
The new tasers. They have another new taser coming out. They have like X26. But hey, hold on. All right, listen. You and I have been chatting for an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay,
all right?
Chris. Thanks.
All right, brother. I'll let you later. Thank you again.
Later.
Bye.